Hello everyone, it's Natalie. Welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of my new raised bed. This is the 10-in-1 raised bed, 17-inch high by Vajiga. Okay, the 10-in-1 means there's 10 configurations, 10 ways that you can put it together, right? The size I chose is the 6.5 by 3.5, or 3.5 by 6.5. So it's 3.5 wide, 6.5 long. Now I haven't put there's bracing rods that you can place in there to help the walls be a little more sturdy. So keep them from buckling when you add the soil. So basically I have to add those bracing rods in there. But I just wanted you to get a look at it. The color is midnight blue. So this is my 7th raised bed. So in the next couple of days I'll be filling it. And I'll record that and show you how I fill the raised bed. Okay everyone, I'm going to start the first phase of placing this raised bed, and then I'll begin to fill it after I do the first part, which is to make sure that this is the place where I want it. Is it in a good spot? Of course, this area, it gets a lot of sun. It's not blocked. It's not shaded by the house. There's no trees that's blocking the sun. So this area is perfect as far as sun, right? Excuse me. But I just want to make sure it's level. I want to make sure it's in an area in my yard that does not get flooded, because it does get, if it rains too long, a long period of time, this part of my yard does become a little bit of a lake. So I don't want it too close to that area, but this is the spot I want it in. So first thing first, make sure it's in the right area. Make sure it's in a spot that gets plenty of sun, that it's level, and then the next step, well, I haven't put in my little rods. I have to put in those rods, those bracing rods that you place in there to keep the walls level. I'll definitely need to do that. So that's why I left. You see that hole right there? You see here? And over on the other side there? Okay, that's because that's where you place the rods to help stabilize the walls, like these little brackets, okay? And then after that, you start filling. The first layer is going to be cardboard, and then garden waste. Garden waste, like you see, like those leaves and branches over there of old trees that has died out. Okay, nothing diseased. I don't like to use diseased leaves. I'm just talking about organic material. You do a layer of that. You do a layer of leaves. I have dried leaves over here that I still have that I collected during the fall last season. So I still have leaves over here to use as another layer. And then I have compost. I have plenty of compost. That's going to be another layer. If that's not enough, I can maybe get some inexpensive topsoil. Then the top layer, of course, is going to be your good, rich, fertile soil. I want the first at least 10 inches to be that good, rich soil, right? Okay, so I've placed the braces on there. But it's starting to rain. So the other steps will have to be either tomorrow or maybe later on today, because I don't mind actually coming out here after the rain, because it actually will cool things off. But it's drizzling now, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and go inside. You know what I might do though? I might as well go ahead and place the cardboard in the bottom, because the cardboard needs to be wet anyway. So if it rains on it, it's fine. I think I'll do that. Okay. All right, look. So it's still drizzling very lightly, so it's keeping me cool. But I'm gonna have to call it quits until after the rain. And as you can see, I have filled the bottom of the raised bed with cardboard. Look, right now, I still have time if I need to make any adjustments or if I decide to move it. This would be the time before I really start filling it with all the other stuff that's much heavier. This is just cardboard, but I think I'm good. I think I'm happy with the placement of it. Okay, look, and it's not carved in stone, like I said before. It can be moved if necessary, but it does take a lot of work. So if I need to make any adjustments, I need to do it now. Okay, I was able to fill the raised bed with a lot of garden waste before it started to drizzle again. So first layer cardboard, second layer is a lot of garden waste, and then I will have leaves, compost, and then your raised bed garden mix or potting soil will be that top layer right up under that compost. But I do have leaves that I'm going to place on top of this. There's actually more garden waste to place in here, but like I said, it started to rain, so I need to skedaddle. So we'll pick up where we left off a little later. Okay, you guys, this is day 4, and I'm pretty much almost done filling this raised bed. I'm sorry I couldn't record step by step because I had to keep moving and keep working, but let me tell you how I got to this level here. Pretty much what you see is this top layer consists of used soil that I had in grow bags sitting around the garden where maybe I had tomatoes growing in it or peppers, or even when I grew the corn earlier this spring. So that, and I'm gonna come closer so you can see, that's used soil, but just look at the condition of it. That is used soil, and I'm gonna let you see. See that? That's good condition soil. That is rich organic material. That is compost. That is organic material that is broken down and decomposed over time. There's still bits of perlite in there and vermiculite. I see little specks of like the slow release fertilizer that I used when I was growing my other fruits and vegetables. So it's used soil, but it is good, rich soil. I will amend it with bone meal, blood meal, earthworm castings. I'm going to add more perlite, vermiculite. So, but just the way it is, I could grow in the soil just the way it is, but I'm not going to do that. There you go. So it looks pretty good, and I'm happy with the placement of it. It's a good spot. It definitely gets 6 to 8 hours of full sun. Okay, this is a good spot. All right. I'm out here in the Joy Garden on this beautiful Monday morning. Y'all, it is September 1st. Happy Labor Day. Okay. But I'm out here, and I want you to see that I have completely filled my raised bed. It is done. It's finished. Just to go over it again, that first layer is going to be cardboard. second layer was a lot of garden waste, or you could use like sticks, logs, things like that. I didn't have much of that, but I had plenty of garden waste from the past seasons. So all of that was decomposing in a pile somewhere, and for this reason, either to use as compost or to use as filler in a garden bed. So I was able to use all of that. And then that top layer is my growing soil or medium. So that top layer is good, rich soil, and I just finished amending the soil. I added a really good fertilizer. I added compost. I added more perlite for aeration and drainage, and it's ready to go, pretty much. So, what am I going to place in this garden bed? I've been debating that. Well, I know this is brassica season, and I envision growing some broccoli and cabbages in this garden bed. So, here's the deal. You don't want to place brassicas near each other. You don't, because they'll compete for nutrients, I believe, and also they have the same pest in common. So, yeah, you don't want to place them together for that reason. So, what I was thinking is like over here on this side, maybe some broccoli over here. In the middle, a good companion plant would be either lettuce or celery, things of that nature. So, in the middle, that's why I'll place that, some type of a real good companion plant, right? And over here, I was thinking of putting my cabbages over here because it's kind of a good distance away from the broccoli on this side, right? I just think it's a good idea. Look, I tell you what, when I grew my broccoli and cabbages last fall, they were in containers, plastic totes. That's what I used before I transitioned to a lot of raised beds. I would use just plastic containers, like storage containers. That's what I grew in, and it worked perfectly. Okay? I would have my broccoli and my cabbages close together. They weren't in the same container, but they were close together. So I don't think it's a problem with growing them close by one another, just not in the same container or same raised or right near each other in a raised bed, if that makes sense to you. So if the broccoli was over here and the cabbage is over there, I think that'll work out fine. And right in the middle, I'll have a good companion plant, either some celery or something like that, or some lettuce right in the middle. Okay? Now, the other thing is placement and spacing. Okay, I have that little wooden board there as a measuring stick. It is about 16 inches. I measured it. I'll go get my yardstick so you can see. As you can see, it is about 15 and a half maybe. So I'm going to use that board as my little measuring stick. The thing is, with broccoli and cabbage, you don't want to plant them too close together. You want at least 12 inches of distance between plants. Your spacing of your plants is important because the larger the space in between, the larger your heads of cabbage will be, the larger your broccoli crowns will be. You need to space them apart. Just 1 second. Here we go. Spacing. It says here, when transplanting, space 12 to 18 inches apart. Planting them too close together will result in smaller broccoli heads, and it's the same with cabbages. It'll result in having smaller heads of cabbage. And in the past, I have been known to place two to three broccoli plants really close together in a container, but I still had decent broccoli crowns. Okay, but this time I'm gonna follow their advice, and I'm gonna put some distance in between. So I have this board as like a little measuring tool, but I honestly could come in just a little bit, maybe even to 14 or 13, right? But I'm just using it to give me a guide. So now I've already amended the soil, right? So I'm pretty much ready to get started. Each of the holes, the planting holes, will be filled with biotone. We'll go over there and we'll look at it. Let's go see. Okay, you guys. So this is what the this is what goes into the actual planting hole. I'm going to place biotone. I always use that in everything that you see in this garden that I've planted out. I always place a little of the biotone plant starter here in the growing hole. I also use blood meal and bone meal. Now I do have this Osmocote, which is a 14-14-14. Even though the soil is already amended with really good fertilizers, slow release fertilizers, it is recommended that's your pre-planting soil that you have a good fertilizer. They actually suggested a 13-13-13 or a 8-24-24. I have this, and this Osmocote is a really good brand. You already know that. So I want to sprinkle a little of this right around the planting hole, just to give it the nutrients it needs to get started. I want it to be able to have the nutrients it needs to grow strong and develop roots, and hopefully it can withstand being transplanted. Okay, you guys, I have my broccoli here on the table. I see a lot of little yellow leaves. And then I have my Cheers cabbage out here too. That is the Destiny broccoli. The Destiny broccoli matures in 40 to 54 days. That's what it says here on the tag. And the Green Magic is 90 days. So if I plant both, maybe one or two of both varieties, I know one will be more mature, will mature sooner than the other. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do the Green Magic or the Destiny. The Destiny, I'll have broccoli crowns by late October, I believe. And with the Green Magic, it's going to take a lot longer. So, I don't know. Like I said, I might do a few of each. Okay? But definitely, I only have one variety of cabbage, and that's Cheers. And I'm happy with that. That's good. We'll see what happens as time goes on. But for right now, Cheers cabbage, I grew that in the past, and it works well for me. Green Magic grows beautifully, and I've also grown Destiny before too. That's the broccoli. Green Magic broccoli, Destiny broccoli. I've grown both of those before in the past, and Green Magic is the go-to for me. And I like Destiny also. Okay, so, but I just wanted you to see, look at them. That one is actually, the little leaf in the middle is curling under already. So yeah, I need to go ahead and get these in the soil. Just wanted to let you know what I do. And that, like I said, I'll start off with some biotone, some bone meal, some blood meal, and a little of this slow release fertilizer. Okay, so I'm gonna get started.